Welcome everyone to the grand final of the Metal State Operator Series Season 1. And what an exciting grand final it is. We've got VYBN taking on Xhail. Of course, we didn't get to stream that semi-final of VYBN taking on Onyx last night, but that was a decisive 2-0 in VYBN's favor. So they are firing on all cylinders going into this grand final. My name is Trinoc. With me, of course, is Defuse Casts. I'm going to call him Jacques for most of this just because else I will call him Kanye, and he doesn't want to be called that anymore. Yeah, it's definitely going to be, I think, a very tightly contested game for the most part, or at least that's what I'm hoping for. Obviously, when they did play each other, because they were in the same group, VYBN came out on top 2-0 against Xhail, but that was on Villa and Clubhouse. None of those maps are in the pool today. We've got Theme Park, Border, Oregon Sky, and Cafe. Now, the thing about that is Theme Park seemed to have been a very strong map for VYBN yesterday. They're winning 7-4. Oregon was even more decisive, a 7-1 victory to VYBN, while Border was the map that we saw played yesterday by Xhail. Not exactly the most convincing victory. It was very tightly contested, and they only got away with that 8-7. So that could be a little bit of a risky map for Xhail, where Steam and Oregon are looking strong for VYBN so far. Obviously, I can't say that VYBN is going to wipe them. Xhail could have plans, could have those counter strats, could just have everything in their pocket to beat them on Theme and Oregon. But just based on what we saw yesterday, Theme and Oregon are going to be hard maps for Xhail today. Yeah, definitely leaning towards VYBN, but as you said, Theme Park can be a bit more of a defender-sided map. So maybe Xhail has a good first half, and in that first half, they get an amazing 6-0 even, just using that defense to their advantage, throwing VYBN off their back onto the back foot, and suddenly Theme Park swings in the way of Xhail. That could be something amazing that we could see coming out. I have just been notified that we don't have Jacques' mic on stream,
Yeah,
so
it should be good now. Hello, chat.
yeah, we have a Jacques back, so I don't know how many times we hadn't heard him talking, but Jacques, I do want to just look at some of the players that we are going to be seeing today. I mean, VYBN's roster is a roster that has been around a while, quite a star-studded roster. It's got Crisscross, Enemy, Kieva, Vertical, and Wicked. Now, these are all players who know exactly what they're doing with a rifle in Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, Vertical, probably one of the best players we've had in the scene, and obviously now he's of the right age to be playing in the comp scene. Before, he was just this young kid that was just destroying everyone. Enemy and Kieva, phenomenal fraggers, and this is just going to be a very hard roster, I think, for Xhail to challenge.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Xhail, they've been around the scene quite a bit. They're a storied roster, but VYBN, they're on a new organization. They're going to have that little bit of, okay, we need to show people what we can do. And they, of course, obviously as well have a history. It's not like they're completely new, but it's this, what do you, like Goldilocks zone? This, as soon as you're picked up by a team, you kind of have that first macho, this bravo that you want to show to the world and tell them, okay, this is why we were picked up. And they have something to prove. Let's be honest. This roster, this organization, even big history in South African Rainbow Six Siege. I liken this to what G2 is to the international scene. You have this insane, the story team winning everything and then completely reforming. This is a story we've seen so many times, but it's the first time I feel we've seen it within a South African context. And that's really exciting to see, is this young blood coming into such a storied name and showing us what they can do.
On the opposite side, obviously, we do have Xhail, who aren't as storied as VYBN. The org as a whole doesn't have that same history. So this is a much, what I guess, newer org to a lot of people. And they also do have some of those star those players. I mean, Tilo yesterday, just alone in the 2 maps that were played, got a total of 28 kills, 18 deaths. So that's actually a fairly decent kill death ratio, just in general. But he really was popping off. And I mean, Dan also 22 kills over 2 maps, which is insane. Whereas you look at VYBN, a little bit more balanced in what they could bring. Enemy yesterday got 20 kills over the 2 maps. So you do have players that can match each other 1-to-1, but it does seem that Xhail does have some heavy fraggers that they might be relying on.
Well, I mean, the question for me as well, when you look at VYBN's performance yesterday against Onyx, it was well done. Don't get me wrong. That's a great outcome. But Onyx aren't that good of a matchup against VYBN. Obviously, they're a good team. I'm not throwing shade at Onyx at all. Just what I'm referring to is Xhail against Levitate now yesterday. Levitate was a team considered by many to be able to take this entire tournament. Them already getting the upset yesterday, in my eyes, that could have been a grand final. I think Xhail have shown us what they can do. They've shown us already that they can make upsets happen. So I see no reason why they can't take all of this today.
I 100% agree with you. I don't see any reason why Xhail aren't just going to continue on the upset train, on the underdog train of just absolutely firing ahead, all guns blazing, and really showing VYBN why you can't underestimate the new guys, the new kids on the block, as some people would like to say. But I do believe that we have got the lobby ready, so we are going to be going into those operator bands, and we are going to get into this grand final and see what happens, and see if what we are saying now, if Xhail can be the upsetting underdogs.
Yeah, so without further ado, I think we're heading straight on into the game. First map, Theme Park. What are you expecting out of this one, Trinoc? I know we've discussed it a tiny bit, but let's focus more on bans, on how this map's actually going to play out.
Well, we did say that Theme Park can be a bit more defended-sided. We mentioned that Xhail is going to be starting on defense. On overtime, they're going to be on the attack, so that if it does go to overtime, maybe they find themselves a little bit in a rough position there. But for the most part, starting on that defense, they could get some good momentum going into this first map. They could push VYBN onto the back foot, make VYBN actually start questioning their life choices.
Trinoc, I don't know if we're casting a terrorist hunt again today. We had some practice on that yesterday, but okay, we're back on the screen here. Just gonna keep you busy for a bit longer.
You don't want to cast a terrorist hunt? Think how many kills would happen.
It'd be
Actually, no. Yesterday, Harper died after killing 5 terrorists every time. So, wasn't the greatest performance
in the background. He's doing some magic.
This is why he coaches.
But hey, I want to throw a quick focus to on map 2, which is border. Which, in my eyes, this is gonna dictate how the game's gonna go, because we know Theme Park first, VYBN completely favored on that one. Map 3 as well as Oregon, again, VYBN completely favored. Game 2 is going to be my focus, because that's the first time Xhail have a map pick, and that's where they need to prove that they can actually do something. And yesterday, we saw them on border against Levitate, which they won it out, but it was a bit shaky. So, Theme Park, that's our first map. Going to be exciting. We're getting into it. The band's already concluded, but I just want to mention map 2, that's where we need to focus. But hey, what do you think about these bans?
A little bit unfortunate. We did miss the excitement of that ban phase, but we do have the Thatcher, the Monty out. That's an interesting ban. Monty being banned out. I think that's Xhail's ban on the Monty. So they clearly know something we don't about the Monty usage, about how VYBN is going to play around that Monty on this map. And given that this seems to be VYBN's a strong map for VYBN, obviously, maybe Xhail has looked into why VYBN is so strong on this map. They were like, ooh, look at that shield play yesterday, or whenever VYBN's played on theme, let's get rid of it. Let's not even have that opportunity of the Monty being a factor.
Yeah, I mean, Levitate, or rather Xhail, when they played against Levitate, the Monty was the one pick that kind of threw them off. On border, Levitate were using that round after round on the attack, and it proved pivotal in those games. Sure, there was that 2v5 clutch that was absolutely absurd, but I think they just told themselves after that game in a bit of a debrief, we do not want to deal with Monty. We succeeded, but it was narrowly. So they just said, okay, let's be a bit more comfortable. Let's actually get rid of this operator. But the other bands, the Valkyrie, the Mirror, and the Thatcher, if my mind's proving me correctly there.
Yeah.
Thatcher, it's theme park. Not much more to say there.
There's never much to say when you see Thatcher banned out, and it's weird that we're still seeing that Thatcher ban so prominent, given that there is that EMP gadget that a majority, not a majority, but a few operators do have now. So, I mean, it's not as strong as the EMP grenade that Thatcher carries as his actual gadget, but it still makes it less likely that you're not going to be able to get a hard wall open if there's electricity or mute jammers on there, because you can bring that operator that has that extra utility of the EMP.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I'm excited for the Thatcher ban, not because... rephrase. Thatcher, it's an easy comfort pick, but when it is banned, it forces you to kind of use the niche operators that actually do have the EMP. A lot of the operators that have that secondary EMP are the bit more situational picks. You think to the Gridlock, the Dockerby, the Lion, these operators that have very good purposes and can win around on their own, but you don't usually pick them. So I'm excited to see them have to force to pick those just because of it.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a choppy experience right now, so sorry to everyone on stream. I think that's what our production team is busy just trying to fix. So if we possibly will see a pause just after this round just so we can fix that, that would be great. But in the meantime, we have got the first moments of this round. We're already 1 minute in, and Wicked finds that first kill onto Stiggy. Looks like the site is thrown and Armory, which is, I mean, probably one of the strongest defensive sites on Theme Park. So going strong first, Xhail hoping to really just throw VYBN off, but at the moment, losing that Aruni so early on could prove a challenge here.
We're already a minute in, so I don't want to take too much time, but just quick taking stock. No impacts on the side of the defenders, so they can't impact trick over onto the main walls. They're relying heavily on C4s, which one's already been expended. They need to hold onto this bomb site, and it's going to be damn difficult with EMPs raining out and Selma charges exploding. That being said, Selma, he's already lost his life, but there we go. Pushing into Drug. They still need to clear out the Capcan. There we go. Roma cleared out. Now they need to focus on the main bomb site. Rudy Gates cleared out. Oh, but Jaeger's there. He gets the knife. He was hoping for one thing, but he got a treasure in another. Pushing onto the bomb site. The defenders are falling one after another. It's just Shock to hold on, losing his life. That's VYBN just steamrolling over this defense.
Yeah, VYBN didn't even blink going into site and just completely annihilating their way through and bringing up the first round in their favor. And that, again, shows that VYBN is really comfortable on this map. This is one of their stronger maps. They knew exactly how to counter Xhail in the entirety of it.
Trinoc, was it just me? Did you see that knife?
I did miss the knife, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, that's quite sad. He went to knife the barbed wire. Jaeger swung out, and he just so happened to kill the Jaeger with the knife that was supposed to be for the barbed wire. I have not seen something like that in quite a while. That made my day right.
A good knife is always satisfying to see, I will say. Not satisfying to experience if you're on the receiving end of the knife. But yeah, I'm a bit sad that I missed it, so I'll keep my eyes out. I'll keep looking to see if there's another one that just pops up.
Traditionally, historically, the most defensive-sided bomb site. It's changed up a bit nowadays with the introduction of secondary EMPs and the way the meta plays out, but I digress. They're going top floor. How they're going to set this one up, because last time now in the previous round we only saw about half of it, but what we saw was VYBN not hesitating for a moment. They acted and they got the kills, they got the bomb site, they got the round win. Xhail, they need to play a bit more of a delaying play style. They need to at least show VYBN that they are on the map and prove to be a real threat.
Well, now just chilling outside castle entrance. Let's see if the threat can continue. Vertical just being covered up by Chris as they opening into cash and trying to get some good long angles all the way through. Just to maybe catch someone out. You can see they're even opening up some holes into office, really trying to make use of as much space as possible without risking themselves and exposing any of their body parts to damage. some good movement here. This is actually really good map control, and we're not even a minute into this round, and they already have established quite a lot of that vertical, the presence on that top floor. If you look, they're really pushing all the way to side. No fear from VYBN right now. No fear in Chris. Even with that boom mine in his legs, he's just happy to just keep moving on forwards. And we
yeah, I mean,
do
as
have a
much as we
disconnect,
want to...
unfortunately for VYBN.
Oh, okay. Looks like most of the team leaving. I'm not sure whether you could get Rios on that one. I think the competitive routing is once a minute has elapsed. You can't actually. Maybe a bit of unfortunate load shedding. I don't want to make a call on that one just yet, but I rather want to mention the introduction of the Jackal. Usually we meme on it as kind of a quote-unquote ranked ban, but it does allow you to clear out the map really quickly, as they just did. Quite unfortunate that we are in a 2v5 situation with a few disconnects, but still going to let this round take place. The attack is here between a rock and a hard place. They still have Salmas to open up that main wall over onto white stairs, but it's going to be a struggle. They need to either peek into split into the angles of the defenders or just go big like Wicked does.
Wicked, I mean, no offense to Wicked, he's arguably probably one of the weaker fighters or gunfighters on this roster, on the VYBN roster, but he's definitely showing that he belongs and he can shoot the heads when needed. As the first Salma Breach goes out just to burn through that one laser gate. And now VYBN might be able to just push on side. It is a 2v3, which is not that disadvantaged if you are VYBN. Obviously, you can see there is someone seemingly playing on those yellow stairs, and Shock is able to get rid of Vertical. It's going to be a hard fight now for Wicked. He's just going for the pre-fire, spraying that angle, but the crossfire is going to be very strong now. You got players on either side of him and a potential flank coming out. Of course, we don't have vision behind him, but it is going to be Dan who just peeks instead, doesn't even worry about the flank.
Yeah, that's a good round for Xhail there, proving they can hold on to the bomb site, and hold on they do. Shut down the attackers at every avenue. They couldn't even get through split door. We're going to have a quick pause just to sort out the tech issues and to make sure that VYBN can get back into the game. We apologize for the delay, but we do want some competitive integrity to bring the best game to your screen. So, hello there. We're back for now.
Oh, hey. Yeah, so we obviously just want to see what happened with those players, why they disconnected. We need to sort out the little bit of choppiness, so if you experienced that, sorry about that. That was on our end. Jacques and I were experiencing that too. But overall, we did manage to see at least 2 rounds at the start, and we saw how aggressive VYBN is actually willing to play this map. They seem to be very confident on Theme Park, know exactly where to go, where to look, what to do. I mean, just with that first entry with Vertical and Chris, obviously you mentioned the Jackal's ability to just clear out quickly because you can see the footprints. He knows exactly where the defenders players are. They just rushed on through straight to that first site and almost just dominated themselves, just the 2-man against the rest. A little bit unfortunate that they then lost some players, and then obviously Xhail was able to recollect themselves and bring it back, bring it into a winnable situation for them. But VYBN really wants to just come on the aggression and take the fights to the defenders rather than just trying to play for angles, trying to get the information first and taking it a bit slower.
Yeah, you know, this is their map pick. They're feeling confident going into this game. They're saying, well, if you're not going to stop us at every point possible, we're just going to run you down. And that's what they did. That very first round, we think of Armory and Throne Room, defensive sided bomb site, sure. But they checked off their checklist in record time. They cleared out the player and drug, roam, gone. They started opening up the main walls. Boom, done. Cleared out the defenders holding onto the main bomb site with ease. That was a clinical round from VYBN, and it's quite sad that we didn't see that continue into the second. So there were some technical difficulties, but we still saw even their defensive, or their rather, what do you call it, support players stepping up. Wicked there, you call them a player that sometimes struggles to step up. Well, I'd argue he's more so just a support player, but we saw him even get kills in that round. So I think all around VYBN can be happy with these first 2 rounds. Xhail, they can be happy they were able to clutch one out there. And going into the rest of this game, I really don't know what to expect. Both these teams showing up.
I'm not too sure what to expect either, and maybe Xhail is using this technical pause that we got going on here to also just take a breath and realize that there is going to be a lot of aggression. We saw yesterday Xhail not afraid to be aggressive themselves. And when they brought out that aggression versus Levitate, it put Levitate in a very unsure position. They were not too sure where the players from Xhail were going to be, and I think they need to start bringing that in here. I mean, if we look at their positioning in those first 2 rounds, they were either locked down on site or they were in very default positions for the most part, that VYBN could kind of just know exactly where to go and what to do. So I want to see Xhail come with that unpredictability we saw yesterday. Just being all over the place, being aggressive, countering aggression with aggression, and making VYBN realize that they can't just run right through the map in that early minute of the game. They need to take it slow. They need to step back, because at the moment, if VYBN's just going to be able to just run on through, it's always going to be putting Xhail in a very tight spot, a very I don't know, risky position.
Yeah, and I just want to give a quick update from the background. The game feed has been fixed. It should be fine on the Twitch side now as well. We're waiting on one player from VYBN, so the game should be back to your screen shortly. For the meantime, though, Trinoc, we've seen action on Theme Park, but we need to think of what's going to happen in the rest of this game. I want your prediction, because I feel we kind of skipped over that one. What do you think the round count?
You're asking me this just because you know I'm a VYBN fanboy, and I'm.
That's public
yeah,
knowledge.
well, you know, they have a cool logo and stuff. Yeah, no. So I reckon I think this theme park map. I mean, obviously, just those first 2 rounds are hard to go off of, but it's both teams. You can tell are ready to take the fight and are ready to come firing. I think we're going to see a close round here. I do think VYBN is going to win this. I don't think it's going to be the walkover that they had yesterday against Onyx. So I'm looking at maybe 7-5 or even going all the way into 8-7. I think Border, I think that's going to probably be the tightest map, though, to be honest with you. That was a map that Xhail showed that they know what to do on that map, and maybe they did a lot of workshopping yesterday, which is why they chose it as their map pick now. They worked out the kinks, they reinforced that. I mean, we saw that bathroom, Taylor's site yesterday, where they extended all the way into workshop, and it just never worked out for them. Maybe they went back to the drawing board, they workshopped that, and now we're going to see that bathroom Taylor strat come out, and suddenly it's a completely different team, and they know exactly where to play and what to do. So Xhail could have something up their sleeves for Border now, and that makes it not as tight as I'm thinking it's going to be.
Yeah, I think if Xhail win Border, I think it's going to be 3-2 to Xhail in the series. If they don't win Border, I think that's a 3-0 sweep for VYBN stat. I'm really looking to the latter end of the series where we go to Skyscraper and Cafe, and I think that's where Xhail is going to make up for this. But that's in the latter half. There's a chance this is just a 3-0 sweep on Theme Park, Border, and Oregon, and we don't even see those last maps. I hope we do. I want this to go all the way, but I'm really focusing on towards Border and more so onto how Xhail can show up on Theme Park. Because if Xhail can take Theme Park, boy, oh boy, are we in for a series.
Yeah, if Xhail take Theme Park, that's going to put VYBN in that all that confidence that VYBN's showing now in these early rounds. The moment Xhail beats them on this map, they are going to lose that confidence, because Theme Park, VYBN's pick, they are expecting to come out and just wipe it, right? Like you said, I do agree with you. If VYBN win Border, it's looking very likely that it would, if they win Theme Park and Border, I should say, it would look very likely that it is going to be a 3-0 Oregon. One of their strongest maps yesterday. I'm not too sure throughout the rest of the series, but yesterday 7-1 Onyx on that, which is pretty impressive to say the least. So Xhail's biggest challenge right now would just be trying to upset VYBN, and they can do that by firstly winning Theme, and then possibly will have the snowball effect into Border. Whereas if they lose Theme, they have a harder job of it, because now they have to win Border, else it could find them very much 3-0'd.
I'm just thinking about this now. VYBN, they 2-0'd Onyx yesterday, which means one of the maps, just in the way map picks work, one of the maps was their pick, one of theirs was Onyx's pick. And they 7-4'd and 7-1'd, which tells me they weren't so certain about one of those maps. I don't know what the pick order was yesterday, but then after the game, they were like, oh lol, we're actually good on this map. Let's just play it tomorrow. So I think almost unexpectedly, Onyx kind of gave VYBN a lead into this because they gave them another entire map to feel comfortable on.
That's possible. I mean, map 1 was Theme Park, but like I said, we don't know who chose Theme Park, who chose Oregon. and could have revealed it in the same way that maybe that border pick by Levitate has given Xhail an idea, this eureka moment where they're like, we do border, but we do it better than what we did yesterday, right?
Man, I'm gonna laugh so hard if they go to workshop and vents and they just slap VYBN at every end.
Just go to vents, forehead.
For everyone that doesn't have context, yesterday during the Levitate XL game, Levitate were having some banter about, hey, just go to vents and workshop, it'll work out for you. In the end, final round, they actually do go to vents and workshop, and that's how they end up beating Levitate. So I think Levitate are going to be kicking and screaming over on their side behind the screen.
Well,
if that ends up
I actually went to border and vent, workshop and vents, border and vents, workshop and vents twice, and both times was a very convincing round win for Xhail. So yeah, maybe Levitate has just handed Xhail the grand final victory. Like, here you go, here's the secret sauce that you guys need. Levitate
were like, if we don't win the entire tournament, we at least want you to not let VYBN
Yeah.
because historically those two teams just don't work out together.
That's very possible. I mean, maybe Levitate new coaches, question mark? Just the coaching squad. They're not a team anymore, they're a coaching squad.
Oh well. I just want to get a quick update from production on what the ETA is regarding this game. We have sorted out all of the technical issues in the background, but we're still waiting on some of the players, so we do apologize for the delay.
Okay, so based on what we just heard now when you were asking that question, production says 2 minutes, we're just waiting on them. So I feel like maybe we've spoken enough and we could just go to a 2-minute break until this is ready, or a potential infinite break until the match is ready. That would be fantastic. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Jacques.
Yeah, sure. Let me...
Okay, so...
We'll see you again when we return. Don't go anywhere. Theme Park will be coming to your screen shortly.
How long do you think I'm going to hold this pose for?
I don't know. I threw up a heart now, and I was kind of expecting it to fade out, but...
Okay, so it was a little bit less than 2 minutes, so if you're sticking in, if you're still around in chat and you thought you had a moment to run to the bathroom, you don't, because I didn't. And we're actually already past that preparation phase into round 3, as Xhail have once again gone down into Throne and Armory. They're going to try their hand at defending that one again. Obviously, we are missing enemy. That was the delay, was we were waiting for enemy to get back into the lobby. And he has made his way in, but he's not going to be in this round. So 4v5 in the opening stages. VYBN might not have the best time of it right now, but they're slowly working their way through. Wicked is on Dragon Stairs. Tilo first to go down. Wicked just goes with the kill steal. Man was injured, and Wicked said, nah, that's mine. I gotta pad my stats somehow.
You know, in my mind's eye, I'm imagining Trinoc just still holding that position he had when we banned out.
I was about to do...
just eternally stun
I was
locked.
about to do the elevator, and then they cut me off. It was very sad.
Oh well. Getting cut off is the player playing behind Throne. Wall being opened up, his angles are held, but look at that, he's got to keep a barricade to play behind. Shock getting some damage done onto him, but wall is open. They really need to worry about that one now. Tilo was their roamer. He's been taken care of though. Vertical, I don't even know from where he's taking damage from. I guess from a reverse up angle, but angles open up. The defender's still sitting pretty, but they need to start worrying.
Oh, this is very worrying for defenders. All of that vertical is going crazy. I mean, you've got Armory, a no-go zone if you're defense right now. And now if they can start going for that default Armory wall opening, could be bad. I say that, but Wicked has expended all of those Salmers onto this throne wall instead. So Armory wall might not have a chance to get opened up. I don't see if anyone has the hard reach util on them. It doesn't look like it. And that means that all of their focus now, if you are VYBN, is going to be trying to put pressure on more onto throne than anything else. And that could cause a little bit of a bottleneck, a little bit of problems for VYBN trying to get onto site.
Yeah, those keeper barricades are difficult, man. You remember the shield meta we were in about a year ago? Well, there we go, keeper barricades, they're just sitting behind it. It's the shield meta 2.0. Paddy joining the fray as he shuts down Kiev, lighting up the kill feed. It's crisscross to execute. Man, but look at this, they still can't get onto the bomb site. C4's raining out, it's on the diffuser, it's still stone cold. Rushing into the bomb site, that's how you make a hero play. Shuts them all down without a fret of a doubt. That's how you play a Jackal.
That's apparently how you just walk onto site and not even blink. VYBN, aggression continuing, not worried at all about Xhail's defenders, and especially getting rid of that roam so early on meant they had a lot of space, a lot of freedom to move around. You saw them just walking into Dragon Stairs, which is not that easy in a situation where the roamer is still a threat.
You know, the broadcast cut out yesterday when I made this joke, so I'm gonna make it again. I hope this doesn't sound like a reuse, but he's Dan Schneider. He was shooting those feet. Well done on that entry. Just swings onto the first, executes the second. Well done to him. VYBN take the round off the back of some aggression at a perfect time. And that's something I really want to focus on here is aggression is one thing, but choosing when to do it is a completely different ballgame. It's one thing to just pick an Ash, go into the building, and be the first death. We've all seen that, our ranked teammates do that. It's a completely different thing when you're a Jackal, and at an opportune time, when you know they're not focusing on split door, you rush in, shoot them in the back, win the round because of it. That shows teamwork, that shows map awareness, and it shows VYBN not only blood-hungry aggression, it's calculated aggression. Xhail, they need to be more aware of plays like that.
Well, Kiev is trying to be more aware of a potential spawn peak. You did see that drone placement in the early phases. They are going for this cache entry, going to try to rush on through, possibly rush on through the office. Might be a bit of a problem with Dan putting up these castle barricades, locking out the easy access. Shock going to be looking to challenge cache. He knows that the drones are coming through. He's probably heard the repels outside. Well, he's not only heard the repels, he's heard them opening up a little hole in that doorway. Drone goes through, Shock gets droned out. He goes for the peek rather than getting out of the situation. Enemy with a pre-fire, hoping to get some value from that. Grenade goes through, but Shock is out of there. He knew it was danger if he stayed. A nice little pre-soft wall setup here means he can still play from behind the bomb chassis and still challenge cache without being at risk in bathrooms. It's looking actually rather good for VYBN. They all seem to be approaching from the eastern side here.
Quite unfortunate that Nate didn't land, but it still pushed him out of bathroom, so map presence gained. Drones coming out now, doing their due diligence. The bomb site is initiation and I think it's gold. Sorry, completely blanking it out.
Initiation and
they're actually
office?
making. Yeah, they're getting onto this bomb site and they're already putting pressure onto the areas. Look, swinging on through, gets a kill. That's how you do it. Xhail are just sitting on the bomb site and they're dying from every angle. They can't move. They can't shoot back. They're at the behest of VYBN.
At the behest of VYBN, the footsteps have been found. This is bad, although Dan and Tilo do try their best to bring it back for Xhail. Wicked shuts that down. Diffuser's going down. Post-plant situation is going to be a tough one for Xhail to handle, especially with Vertical just challenging out of initiation, making sure that the rotates couldn't come on through. It's all up to Stiggy. He's playing out of cash. The castle barricade maybe now a bit to his detriment as he goes for the only peek he had available, and Vertical shuts him down. VYBN are racing to get this map done as fast as possible.
They are speedrunning this one. This is impressive. And it's... The rounds are close, don't get me wrong. But it just seems like VYBN has this extra bit of energy that at any point in the round, they flick on a switch and it's just go, go, go. They don't stop. They are like a pit bull.
I apologize
They
to
bite
anyone on
and they
stream. I
don't
just
release.
smashed my microphone. Sorry.
Thank you, Trinoc.
Yeah, my
Deafening
yeah,
all of
my
us.
bad. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted there. I interrupted you there. My bad.
I'll just keep it going. My VMix
Jacques
crashed.
has disconnected momentarily.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm back.
Jacques is not disconnected momentarily. Okay, let's go into round 5. Maybe you were talking about VYBN just wanting to get this over, seeming to flick a switch and just rushing to victory. Maybe they want to catch some of the F1 later, which if this goes all the way to 5 maps, they're going to miss all of that. Who knows? I know if this is a 3-0, I'm going to go watch that. So possibly we all just in the same headspace, you know? As round 5 is starting to go, you can see that VYBN is just getting their drones pre-placed, trying to figure out where those drones are going to be, possibly looking to come in through initiation from that area, attack dorms from that side. That is the angle that they approached dorms last time. You had Chris and Vertical racing on through Castle in that early phases, and once again you got Vertical going from that same location, just firing into cache, seeing if you can see everyone. Looks like they are going to be going to rush control room this time instead though, and just put immediate pressure onto initiation, immediate pressure onto that reinforced wall that Xhail put onto initiation, and see if they can start making Xhail sweat a bit. And actually, a lot of the team is stacked on cash door now. The Roma has been found out. That's put a very, very awkward situation for Tilo. He has to get out of there, and now VYBN knows this whole side of the map is open to them. They can just go ham, and you can see they're not even faltering in their walking on through. Xhail needs to respond a little bit, and there was the response as Vertical takes some chip damage.
There's a mark on Tulo's back, literally and figuratively. They know where he was and how the Jackal's going to follow through. He can see those feet, he can track him all the way down into his roam position. Vertical, I don't know where he was taking damage from. Oh, a long angle being held by the drone hull. I love to see that one.
Is this your Dan Schneider joke again?
Yeah.
Still don't get the reference, but I'm glad that I was a part of it.
Thank you, Trinoc. Making jokes you don't even know the punchline to.
Zero knowledge of the punchline, but it looks like VYBN has 0 kills on the board, as Xhail is just playing it as safe as possible. Tilo has rotated back to site. Just going to try support from there. The roam obviously wasn't working out in his favor. VYBN taking a lot of chip damage, and Xhail doing a really good job this time around of not giving VYBN the easy kills, not letting the aggression that VYBN is bringing be to their detriment. Vertical, low on health, is going to try peek onto that yellow stairs and just see if he can find something. VYBN has opened up the one war enemy through the hole. Finds Shock. That's one less player to deal with on site. And now the nade's going to come through. So I'm a good drone call, but unable to connect.
Oh, he gets the injure though. That's so important. Close though, only counting hand grenades and horseshoes. Well, that is a hand grenade, and he gets the kill. Now they can pivot onto the bomb site. Linking health bars on so many of the VYBN players, but that doesn't matter when they can still get those kills. The bomb site's wide open, but from the sides, Stiggy's not going to allow that.
Is it going to be enough though? Is Stiggy's efforts going to be in vain? Wicked is getting that defuse down. Trilo finally goes down, and Stiggy falls too. Dan is able to deny the defuse plant and could find himself clutching this one out, especially with Kieva down on the ground. And Xhail win it out with a beautiful play from Dan. He just got the right kill at the right time, making sure that the timer falls out. You can see the pre-fires. They knew where he was, they just couldn't connect.
Where was the diffuser?
It was,
What was
well, it
that?
was on Wicked, and he got killed while he was typing the code in. He must have just forgot the code. And, you know, it happens sometimes. You have ADHD and you're like, oh, what was the code? And you radio, like, ask for the code. No one knows because they're not the box planter. Problem. That's why you always got to make sure everyone knows the code.
Yeah, can't be forgetting it like that. Well, Xhail.
You really just need
We're
to
gonna
shut
make
me
sure
down
VYBN
when I
doesn't
go on
forget
weird
that.
tangents like that. Just saying.
No, I love it, and I'm sure chat loves it. Trinoc, I for one love your weird jokes.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, VYBN, they're doing well this round, this game so far, but it seems like the rounds they've lost, they've kind of slipped up. One, sure they lost some teammates, but still, it seemed like they were just stagnating, didn't really know what to do, were floundering. This round that they lost now, it was just miscommunication. Should have had the last player locked down. VYBN are in control, but they still are making some unforced errors. That's not to say Xhail aren't doing well. Whenever VYBN makes an unforced error, they pick up on it and they win the round. That was so well done by whoever the Legion was there, knowing when to sit passive and just win the round. He just waited. Nothing to do. Gets the round for them. Simple as that.
He did indeed wait it out, and this is now the third time we have seen Throne in Armory. Will the waiting tactic work? Although Tilo comes in huge, finds Wicked, and starts to shut down the aggression. Seems that 2 times losing the site was enough for Xhail to say that is enough. We are not going to lose this again. Diggy with a beautiful little roam holding in cash. They definitely have learned that the droning is huge. VYBN is getting so much information, so if we can counter that droning, we could possibly win it out. Chris Klotz finds Trilo, but he's still got Stiggy to deal with as he starts making his way through, and Stiggy is there, and he says, no, sir. You got one, but you're not going to get another. 4 men left, and only 2 on VYBN. Hard ass, because enemy does manage to get rid of that roam of Stiggy, the danger, who eliminated and put lots of pressure onto Cash, but can VYBN bring it back?
I love this from Xhail. For most of this map now, they've been sitting, waiting, being the passive team, just waiting for VYBN to make the moves. Not now. They realize this is their last defensive round, and they're down around. They want to equalize this, so they say throw caution into the wind. We're going to peek into your angles, and if you don't die, at least we're not going to lose lives. They peeked out so aggressively, but they only lost 2 players. What is that? Xhail, well done. That's how you answer to VYBN's attack. Now left reeling, it's just Vertical and enemy to clutch this back, and, well, it's Armory and Throne. They don't have Heart Breach. They need to funnel onto one of these 2 doorways, and they're going to meet a crossfire at the other end.
Xhail is they're very good at setting up that crossfire, very good at being aggressive on the defense, and like I said, when they do finally start matching the aggression of VYBN, they actually find themselves in a favorable position. Maybe Xhail realizing that just being a little bit too timid, not exactly working out in their favor. Obviously, the hard breacher has been taken out, which means that they're not going to be able to open up that wall. They're going to have to go into some very hard choke zones. Enemy has been spotted out by the camera, or at least his hologram has. So this might be a good time for Xhail to just hold on to those angles, not give too much away, play it a bit safer. They won the aggression early on, but now they can just lock down sight. They have the numbers advantage. Vertical just hoping for a head to pop up into his vision.
Just needs a single limb, a single body part to peek on out. And Xhail, we're going to make sure nothing is sticking out. The C4 rings into the ears, but he is being deaf. That's not a kill confirmed. That's how you swing onto a bomb site. Gets one in, but he's trying to find more. He can't do anything. Oh! It's left in a 1v1. Who's going to win this? Paddy on time. Nothing he can do. Xhail with another one sneaked out.
Vertical trying everything in his power to bring that back, bring it into VYBN's favor. As Xhail played that perfectly. All they had to do was lock down south, play it safe, not give too many easy kills away. And that's exactly what Paddy did in the last round there. Just ring around the rosy, make sure Vertical never going to get a chance to shoot him in the face and bring it in VYBN's favor. Xhail now on the attacking side, and actually a really good defensive round. Well, maybe not the best, but they brought it back. That what could have been a 5-1 or even a 4-2 is now a 3-3, and they have a chance to throw VYBN off even more.
Said it's ring around the rosy, but Xhail, they've got the pocket full of posy. They know how to finish these rounds. It might not be clean, it might have been scrappy, but that's not what counts. It's the round win, whether the narrow siege or just some cheese. I think they can be more than happy with this. This half now, this is where they need to start focusing. This is where you adjust your mouse pad, you get your keyboard straightened out, because this is
why
where
would
we
you
need to
straighten
focus
out
now.
the keyboard? You mean you got to angle it more? You got to get the gamer angle.
5 seconds to go.
You still want to not get like what's that, wrist disease?
Yeah,
Or,
but
like,
you get the wrist disease
condition.
from straightening it out. You know, if you angle it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a orthopedic surgeon or
It's
anything.
nothing to do with orthopedics. That's feet and legs.
See, that's how intelligent I am about the entire field.
This is a very low IQ moment for you, Jacques. I'm not gonna lie. Harper wants to know why you have a feet obsession.
No, I just think it's very interesting when people shoot feet. It's just like I like when people shoot feet in Siege. It's just one of those cheese things.
Well, we have started the round. The feet are going to be moving and hopefully not shot just yet. As Shock goes for a quick run into maintenance. Going to start challenging that dragon stairs angle. VYBN haven't really spread much out onto this map, so that's going to allow Xhail to get some good control over the majority of the bottom floor. You can see there are some vertical angles at play that they are going to have to deal with if they want to move onto site. Looks like they've set Shock and Stiggy to just start clearing those angles out as Wicked finds Dan in an unfortunate fight upstairs. No more boost for you. That little bit of health buff that the... I can't remember that operator's name. Just gone from my head. Is not going to be available. Pinker, that's the one.
There we go. I mean, I was bantering the other day with Ubisoft ZA. I don't know. If you guys haven't followed them, by the way, please do. Ubisoft ZA, they're finally showing support to our region. We want to thank them quite a bit. But I was bantering with them over on Instagram that it's kind of my job to name operators, and there we go. It's Finker. Other one is Frost. That's who we lost.
Thank you. I just couldn't think of it.
Hey. Let's get into this round. Trying to shoot any body part he can find. It's going to be the feetsies over on a low angle. He confirms it. That's how you get those kills. Now needs to find 2 more, though, on the bomb site. Left reeling. Wicked outside. He's going to pose a bit of a threat, but Yever lurking on the site. I don't think they know this position. That shotgun is going to give away just a bit of a scent, though. SMG-11 does swing wide. Couldn't even hit the broadside of a barn with those shots. You need to find more accurate ones. Stiggy nails it through to confirm it. That's how you be precise.
That was a beautiful first attacking round for Xhail. Just locking down the angles, getting in quick, getting in fast, not even blinking that they lost Dan so early on. They just took it in their stride and kept going. And very much threw VYBN onto the back foot there for the most part. VYBN now changing up sides, going to initiation and office upstairs. Not going to try that downstairs side again. We saw, of course, yesterday Xhail did try to redo a site that they lost over on border, and it didn't work on their favor. So VYBN not going to try and repeat the mistakes of their apart position at the moment.
I quickly alluded to this earlier, but I want to flesh out just that point a bit more. Is Theme Park, defenders sided. Theme Park, VYBN's mapping. Sure, it was all good and dandy from Xhail to take 3 runs on the defense, but you expect the attack to go VYBN's way because this is their mapping. That's what they're supposed to show us. But Xhail showing up on the attack, this might just yet prove to be a bit of an upset coming out here from Xhail.
Yeah, very possible that Xhail is going to continue their upsetting run. Obviously, yesterday Levitate were the favorites to win that. Xhail said no. Possibly they're going to say no today. They've got their drones placed. They know where the bomb site is. It looks like they're going to come from, at least 3 of the members are going to come from that castle area, potentially mirroring how VYBN went in on site. As you see, Dan might start putting pressure on to the, the place where you prepare food? Can't remember what it's called. Kitchen, yes.
Harper, just quick, if you could focus on the Solace for the start of this round at least. I want to see where he's sitting out, because his intel being fed to this team is going to be pivotal. We saw Xhail playing into Levitate Solace yesterday, kind of struggling. It was one operator that proved to almost completely shut them down. I want to see where he's gathering this intel, what exactly he's doing. The phone call ringing out might be one way to shut him down. No IQ on the board to actually locate that camera, but audio might just be enough. On the rappel now, Dan shooting out from the side, but oh, a quick push comes out, but it's VYBN who just shut down every player on the bomb site. What is this?
Yeah, that break room push or kitchen push from, well, I can't remember who was sitting on that break room push. Just seemed to have confused VYBN a little bit, and Xhail were able to put a lot more pressure onto the bomb site and just distract and confuse, although Wicked coming out on top here. He does seem to be fragging out for his team and possibly just showing me why I shouldn't have called him the weakest player on the team. Managing to get 2 early on. Trades going left and right, 2v2. Xhail has an opportunity to get that diffuser down. Shock had the diffuser in hand, but Kieva shuts it down and says no. It's all up to Dan now. He doesn't have any phone calls left. There are a few drones that can help him out with information. He hasn't hacked the cams, which means he's walking through blind. No diffuser in hand either, and Xhail's going to lock that one down. Not Xhail, VYBN going to lock that one down as Dan sees the head of Kieva. Doesn't connect. Kieva backs on off. A crossfire is going to be set. Dan could be in danger here, although finding this pre-prepped rotate hole. Oh, Kieva knew exactly where to look.
It's a game of tag, and VYBN Esports, they are it. They are the ones taking that round comfortably. Walks onto the site with 2 flashbangs and a dream. Sadly can't convert it. It was a good round from Xhail. A good start, showed aggression, but VYBN were just sitting pretty strong on that bomb site. Didn't waver for a second. In the late game, they know how to clutch it out. They know how to play around the Dockerby pushing in. I'm sad the Solace didn't prove too valuable at the start. It's an operator whose potential I haven't seen used to its fullest within South Africa at all. I really want Chris Cross to show us how it's done on that operator.
I would love to see Chris Cross to show us a thing or two as well, but nothing yet. Back down to lab and storage though. A site that they lost originally, possibly hoping to now pivot off the momentum of winning that initiation office site. Actually they have changed. They bluffed me out as well, because now they're going to throw in an armory instead, which, I mean, given that lab and storage seems to be a site that they didn't do too well of, makes a lot of sense instead to go downstairs one more time and see if you can maybe get some momentum downstairs and then move to lab and storage.
I'm seeing some banter in chat. Basically TLDR. They're saying VYBN might actually need to use their brain for this one. It's not going to come down to pure aim skill. They actually need to use their 2 brain cells in this one. What is that? I think VYBN weren't expecting this much pressure coming out from Xhail. Were you?
I did say that I think Xhail is going to surprise us in the early rounds. I said that I think Throne is going to be a tight map. So yes, Kanye, I was expecting that.
See
Mic
what
drop.
we expect everything. We're 2 minutes ahead. We know.
Yeah, we're in the future. Exactly. Chris Cross might need some of that future sight, though, to know that there's a player running right above him, hoping to open up that hatch above the vending machine, although it doesn't happen just yet. Some good vertical pressure that VYBN is playing above the sites. And if Xhail can clear that out, they'll have free reign. We saw how VYBN used that vertical angles to their advantage in this drone armory attack, and Xhail is going to be hoping to do the same as Dan has worked into lab. He's going to start pushing pressure onto that bottom floor, make sure there's not any free rotates that can come through arcade. You can see just pre-placing some drones, getting some droning done, and a lot of map control for Xhail on the bottom floor. Obviously top floor still a challenge for them, Jar.
But it's a struggle. Ooh. But they're making quick work. The Jackal is in, he can track those footsteps, he's putting the pressure onto the Azami. Nothing just yet. As casually as one would speak of tomorrow's rain, the Azami backs on off, places a barricade, and he's sitting pretty. Elevated angle now, maybe that can catch him off guard, but still, just waiting. That's how you find a head. Threads the needle, shuts him down. Well done to clear out the road.
Unfortunate for Kieva. Put those Azami barricades to try to slow down the Jackal. Completely forgot that there was a box that could be vaulted on. Now, Xhail is going to start trying to work onto Throne Wall and getting it open. The nades came out to try clear away gadgetry. In the meantime, Vertical did manage to get rid of Shock, which means that the intel that can be gained not going to be utilized for Xhail. Wicked swings wide with the shotgun and now has box in hand. Even though the trades come out, VYBN are in a good position. They can hold on to that box, although Xhail says, not if we can shoot you out instead. Wicked does answer back onto Stiggy, but a 2v1 and Xhail could take this one to the bank as Wicked sees the head of, I believe, was Dan and looks away at the worst moment, flashed out. Xhail gonna start rushing on through. The box is being collected. Wicked, you gotta respond, or Trilo comes around from the dragon entrance and says, nah, you can't see. We have the box, and time for you to say goodnight as 5-4 finds Xhail looking to take the first map.
Trinoc, Wicked took your comment personally.
He 100%,
fighting
he
tooth and nail on that
100% took my comment first. He was like, oh, remember that time, Trinoc, where I 1v1'd you and killed you? And now I'm going to show you why I was able to do that, because I'm just going to kill everyone else too.
I mean, Xhail took your comments personally. They were like, VYBN fanboy on the commentating desk? No, we can't let that happen. We need to show them how it's done. 5-4 lead on Theme Park. On a map that's not your pick. Sure, it might be not a comfort or like a secondary map for Xhail, but still, this performance here, this is brilliant. You said Theme Park is just a quick and easy VYBN game. Well, we might not be finished by 12 p.m. tonight if it keeps going like this.
Fortunately, we don't have infinite overtime, so it won't be that late. And also 12 p.m. would be tomorrow, which means that we would actually be casting this for like 12 hours, which is insane.
I'd be down. I want to see this game go that long.
I don't think I have the stamina, and I don't think the teams have the stamina to play for 12 hours straight.
That would be an insane thing to try and do. Like a siege like the last one standing type of siege game. It doesn't really matter the round count, just the last one to tap out.
I see Harper's taken what you've asked to heart. He's giving us that soulless action every round now. Xhail moving onto Castle, looking to get in quick, looking to put the pressure on quick, looking to be as aggressive as VYBN. They're going to run into Kieva first, who hops onto cams in what could be a very bad position to start camming from, especially with the pressure that's going to happen onto Cash Wall. The door has been opened, and VYBN, or Xhail, is going to start moving through. They have the Blitz, which means they have the rush ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Blitz goes for the crack. The spam comes through from Kieva. Now they know where he is, as Dan's just going to go through with the shield, with the flashes. Good, the pistol out, says goodnight. Kieva on the other side of the map. Vertical finds himself with no more head as well. The shield is out. Dan is able to stay alive. He goes for the flashes, but the magnets are there. Xhail looking good, looking strong here, Joe.
Dan looking like he needs to go in for a root canal surgery. He's scared. He's behind the shield. Yes, he got one kill, but now his feet is being shot now. He's a bit scared now. But that being said, VYBN, they've already lost 2 men. Taking more damage on that shield. He's still alive, though. That's all that matters. As long as he has that shield that can blind you out, push you out of position, that's all that matters. Xhail looking mighty fine. Solace wanted action from her round after round. Let this be the time. That is all that VYBN is hoping for. Enemy needs to step up big. P90 in hand. Needs to prove what he can do for this team. Lurking on back.
You have a weird thing for Solus right now. And Xhail...
Solus is a good operator.
Solus is a great operator, but Xhail don't even seem to care about the fact that there's a Solus on board. Although Wicked, with some great patience, able to just wait out the play to run on pot through. Unfortunately, even though he gets the kill, he does get injured. And Xhail are able to seal it out, bringing it all the way to match point in what is not their map point. And there we go, choo-choo in chat as Dan, just with the shield, chugs into Theme Park. And that is some aggression that we wanted to see from Xhail. That is how you start winning against VYBN.
Oh, I don't know what it is, but VYBN look asleep at the wheel.
At the train?
Just so clean.
Asleep at the train?
The conductor's asleep.
Remember old Theme Park had the train in it? I don't know.
I do remember that. That's a throwback and a half.
Yeah, that was when Theme Park wasn't that great to play, because there was like 2 halves of Theme Park with a train in the middle. It was really confusing.
What you mean it was good to play?
I like new Theme Park more. I think it's got more opportunities
old Theme Park supremacy.
Okay. We're just going to have to agree to disagree on this one, as VYBN are going to have to pull something out if they want to bring it back. Lab and storage I'm being absolutely dunked on
Both
here
the
by...
Observer and production have said old Theme Park.
This is ridiculous. New Theme Park's better. Just the access points and the state. I'm not even going to argue why it's better, because it is better. And right now, VYBN are all over the map. They are locking down as much of this upstairs space as possible on their defensive set. Let's see where Xhail decides to start entering through. Looks like they're going for a little bit of a cafe push more, or at least one of their players is going for that cafe push, getting that vertical too. There's Tilo as well on the sledge, going to open up the window, start putting pressure onto storage. I really want to know what the discussion was there between Tilo and Shock.
I'm very interested by this bomb site pick. Drug lab is not something you do anytime in my experience.
That's one of my favorite sites.
Trinoc, you're also the person that says new theme park is based. I'm pretty sure your opinion has been invalidated, but hey, look, VYBN are making it work. They're in the bomb site, but they can't do anything. Trinoc, your bomb site, well, they're using it to perfection.
I wouldn't say they're using it to perfection. They have done a good job of holding onto it and not letting Xhail get too much space, get too much opportunity. Although with Dan and Patty popping off and getting rid of Chris and Kiva, that could change real soon. Xhail are going to have some vertical space and some vertical angles available to them now as enemy and vertical. They've just kind of spread out around that lab area, hoping to get some crossfires. Stiggy, who does not have the box in hand, has made his way onto site. If he had it, that could be an easy plant. Unfortunately for him, he does see a little bit of the pouches on that Jaeger. Enemy gets out. Now they know where he is, and the flank is on. This could be bad if you are Stiggy. An enemy says goodnight.
VYBN had the cost of buff. Whenever Trinoc likes a bomb site, well, VYBN's gonna win it. There we go.
So what you're saying is if I want VYBN to win, I just need to like every site? Okay.
Yes. How do you feel about Armory and Throne?
That's alright.
So you don't want VYBN?
Look, man, I want the story to win. And Xhail is the underdog. That's a good story.
That is a good story, but VYBN, they're not going to go quietly into that good night. It's 5-6. It is match point for Xhail still, but VYBN won't let that happen just yet. They're going to Armory and Throne.
Nope, they're going to Initiation and Office. They bluffed you out.
Did they switch it up?
They switched it up. They have won this site before. This was the...
How do you feel about this site?
Oh, it's, it's alright.
Okay, I'm not
the
gonna
only
get into
site I
sites
have
outside of
strong
Trinoc
feelings about is lab and storage. I think
You've had this thing for lab and storage, like ever since ROG Invitation.
Years, man.
I remember this.
Years. I just think it's an underutilized site, and I think more teams need to just start learning how to play it. Like, I'm not saying I know how to play it. I just think everyone else should know how to play it.
Oh, so you're not the voice of authority. You're just like, I would like to see if this potentially, possibly, were to be played a tiny bit more.
Yes, 100%. Stop.
Yes, a lot of qualifications there.
Stop being scared of lab and storage. Not conducive to siege. I don't know what I'm saying. Xhail and VYBN 6-5. VYBN looking to take this to overtime, setting up some nice peek holes onto Cash. They realize that Xhail has used Cash quite a bit to gain entry onto site. Shock has brought the Nomad. I think this is the first time we're seeing that Nomad, so the air jabs are going to be out. I think they are worried a bit more of the roam that VYBN has brought, especially in that last round. The VYBN roam was rather strong and posed a lot of issues upstairs. Now they're just wanting to make sure it's not going to be as much of a problem as before. Setting up on castle entrance, they are going to start pushing into Cash, and this is where VYBN's pre-placed peek holes could come in value. Oh, but there's a drone that has spotted. Oh, that's actually a Jackal that spotted that play out in bathroom, so they have some information. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Yevek's been playing in this position every single round, with those Kiba barricades just staying there as long as he can. Previously, almost every single time, until death. He's playing for time, but he's also playing for his grave.
Yeah, that's the end of Kiva, and unfortunately, enemy seems to be having connection issues today, has dropped as well. Diggy is going to have space now to take control of Cash and just start putting a lot of pressure onto that office bomb site. Their long angle from the defense, though, could prove to be rather great here. If Wicked can get that C4, might be able to make something of it. But yeah, if Chris can get a long angle like he's holding into bathroom right now, he could lock out that player as they move through that bathroom door. Wicked obviously going to help with the cross angle from the bank vault side. VYBN, although don't have the numbers, look like they are still willing to lock down the site and do as much as possible. Flashbangs come out onto vertical. He could be in a little bit of trouble here. The pushes could come through at any moment. The pre-fires are going out. Shock finally finds Wicked. That's going to open up sight. The box is being planted. Crisscross is going to go try and deny that. And Paddy stops midway through, but it doesn't matter because Xhail, flawless round, take map number 1. And this could be the upset that we wanted to see.
So well done there from Xhail. 7-5 on VYBN's map pick. That's what you love to see. That's proving to us both teams are here to fight. Trinoc, I think we're in for a long series at the very least.
I think we are definitely in for a long series. I don't think it's to VYBN's benefit at the moment that they keep losing one of their key players, an enemy. One of the players I did highlight, he is a very important fragger for VYBN, and he just seems to be having connection issues, so hopefully they can sort that out before the next map, which is going to be Border. But I want to talk about Xhail's performance over that round, because they had some very rocky start to the game where they were playing it a little bit slower. We weren't seeing the aggression. We weren't seeing that unpredictability that we saw yesterday from them. And the moment they switched it up, you talked about VYBN flicking a switch and just going straight in and taking on the gunfights. When Xhail did the same thing, VYBN actually didn't know how to respond, didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I point to the Azami, who was playing inside of Cash every round with the keeper barricades. I point to her as figuratively or an expression of the entire team. Is at times they were playing solo till death in positions that didn't net them too much. I think VYBN on their defense struggled to establish which parts of the map were integral to their defense and which parts maybe you could have let off. It's minor mistakes, it's minor flaws here and there, but it counts up towards the finale, which is Xhail taking the map 7-5. Really well done to them, and I think we really need to commend them for that. VYBN, though, it's well done, but I think just some small tweaks heading into Border that they need to fix.
Who I really want to commend, though, and this is 100% the man just slapping me in the face and saying, you're wrong, is Wicked. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5, 6. He was the opening frag both 6 times on defense and on attack. He was there to show that he can also frag. He can also be the main man if needed to be. And now going into Border, if he can continue that momentum, he might be able to just lift the rest of his team with him. And VYBN might actually come out on top of this. But Border, we talked about how Xhail is not their strongest map. They potentially could have workshopped this. They potentially could be ready to absolutely destroy VYBN on this map.
Yeah, when we return, Border will be coming to your screen. A big one between VYBN and Xhail. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly.